But then when I lost my business and I went from being the guy who could go on a night out and do whatever, had more money than I probably deserved. Then when I lost literally everything, and Ethan, you were around me at that period of time, I did really struggle with that. And I remember there was times, without going into too much detail because this is just the start of the conversation, but for example, then not having a car and being stood at a metro station thinking I'm going to get on a metro, and times just before the train comes up thinking, wouldn't it just be easier if I just stepped and then that was it? And that thought was, it probably happened for a couple of weeks, where the pressure of what I was dealing with around losing my business, losing my income, losing some self-respect, losing probably that element of self-worth, and that perception in my head of what I thought I was, to then I was nothing. It was a very humbling experience, which I learned a lot from, but I didn't deal with that very well at that moment in time. Thankfully, it was nothing more than a period of time which I then overcome and did a lot of research, understood, spoke to people, which was super helpful. But it was definitely a really scary moment, and yeah, it's a topic that I feel no matter what we talk about on the podcast, whoever is struggling, there's a very good chance if they don't get help, they ultimately end up at this conversation of, is suicide the answer? So if you don't deal with your alcohol addiction, or your drug addiction, or your gambling, or whatever that might be, ultimately you may end up at this conversation of, is life really worth it? Is it easy just to end my life? So I think it's a really important topic for us to discuss tonight, and I'm sure we'll have lots of future conversations around it.